All right, everybody, here we go. Welcome back. It's another brand new week. And as you can tell, I am struggling here. My voice is completely shot. If you follow me on Facebook at JV Johnson, or it's also JVJ Paranormal, you'll know that I had 2 band gigs this weekend. I did a heck of a lot of singing and even more screaming. And this is the result. I've got no voice. So as I get closer here to ScaraCon coming up, oh, geez, what is it? It would start. The show opens on Saturday. Everything starts setting up on Friday the 15th here. So we've got this weekend coming up. I'm hoping that I have a chance to rest the voice. For those of you tuning in on my YouTube channel, you'll know that we are not doing live Beyond Reality radio programs this week because of ScaraCon. But I still had some important conversations to have related to this particular show that's coming up. We've got some people we still want to talk to. One of them we have with us tonight. Brett Glasser is the guy that's, I guess, Brett, I'd say you're in charge of, but I'll let you correct me when I bring you in here, of the Kids of Albany. And this is a group of shadowcasters. Now, many of you have heard of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That is no secret. That everybody knows what that is. But not everybody knows what Rocky Horror Picture Show shadowcasting is, or shadowcasting for any film. It happens to usually be involved with fan participation or audience participation type films like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And Brett's going to explain it to us because we are featuring the Kids of Albany and their shadowcast of the Rocky Horror Picture Show at ScaraCon this weekend in Framingham, Massachusetts. That particular event will be Saturday night at 8:30. Brett, welcome to this Facebook Live edition of ScaraCon TV. It's great to have you on tonight, and it's going to be excellent having you at ScaraCon again.
Oh, thanks so much for having me, JV. We are absolutely pumped for Saturday night.
Yeah, it promises to be a great time. So as people tune into this and they start thinking, geez, what the heck is a shadowcast? I'm not even sure what this means. How would you define it?
I mean, the shadowcast experience, it's really like nothing else you're going to find anywhere else. The easiest way to describe it is it's kind of like movie karaoke, just cranked up to 11. You're going to have the movie itself, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, that'll be playing on the screen. And the shadow part comes in where our cast, the Kids of Albany, they will literally be shadowing the entire movie, every movement, all the dialogue, and accurate costumes and props. So if calling it a 3D movie is such an understatement, because it'll really ruin 3D movies for you for the rest of your life, because it's just, so much more than that. And, the actors will be coming right out into the crowd, and that's just one layer to what you'll actually be getting at the show, and that's not even including the audience participation part.
Yeah, I've seen this, and it's, if you think that going to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, getting the props and, doing the audience participation stuff is fun, you're right, it is fun. But this shadowcast takes it to a whole new level. And as Brett described, you've got actors in costume acting out the entire movie, mimicking the moves of what you're seeing on the screen, coming out into the audience, and making it a live. It's almost as though it's a live performance of the Rocky Horror Picture Show with a movie playing in the background. You could almost reverse the whole description.
Oh, absolutely. There's so much to take in. I feel like the audience, they're watching the movie, they're watching the actors, and then all of a sudden you start getting the callback lines from the audience, and that adds such a whole new layer to the show itself. And the callback lines is there's these jokes and things that the audience will yell out at very specific times in the movie that will literally sync up with a line from the film that acts as a punchline to what they said. And some of these lines are more than 40 years old. So if you were as a teenager going to these midnight showings back in the 70s, you will be brought back to that time by hearing some of these lines you remember being called out.
And for those, I can't imagine there's anybody in our audience in particular that hasn't seen a performance or a screening of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, just in general. But if you haven't, Brett, tell the folks what is involved as far as props and audience participation. What types of things does the audience do during a screening, particularly during the Shadowcast version?
Well, all you really need to do is right when you come in, the show itself is free with your admission to the con. So when you come to the show itself, we will have a little merch table set up where you can pick up a prop kit for just $4, and that includes every single item you'll need throughout the entire movie. And if you're not sure when to throw stuff or how to do it, we do have instructions in there for the new folks coming. And, you know, an example is the best part of the film is you do get a roll of toilet paper as part of this prop kit. So, you know, at the moment of Great Scott, all the audience is throwing toilet paper, and it's a great sight to see at ScareCon, man. The people there really get into it. You have bird seed for the wedding scene right off the bat. So I think immediately, whether you're new to it or you're a veteran, you'll get right back into the feel of it. It's such a good time. Okay,
so the burning question amongst our audience, or maybe not so much the audience, but certainly me right now, is what makes a person somewhere along the way decide to become a shadowcaster of an iconic film like this?
You just have to be a special kind of person. Like, the people in our cast are absolutely amazing. We have people of all ages, and they seek us out after coming to one show. And that's, everyone has their kind of unique backstory. And I think whether you were a fan of the film or whether you came to one performance, some people just see that and they're just like, I need to be a part of that. I need to be involved. And that's kind of the story of just about everybody in our cast, and they're absolutely amazing. Every single person you come to see in the Kids of Albany, you'll be a fan of, I guarantee it. And I'll just so you know, after the show, we'll be in costume. We'll be glad to take a group photo with everybody, so definitely come and take a photo. And we'll be at the convention on Saturday, roaming around in costume, so, you know, we'll see you there, and we'd love to chat and hear from all you Rocky fans. Yeah, when you guys enter the room, there's no question that you've arrived, because the cheers, the screaming, and you guys just have such an amazing presence as well. Now, I assume that a lot of the people that are involved with this probably have an affinity for theater in general. It seems to be something that probably helps go a long way when it comes to something like this, but it's probably not exclusive to that either. Oh, you absolutely. We have people who definitely came from a theater background. We have people who came to us and said, I have zero experience. I've never been on stage. And 2 shows later, they're wearing fishnets. They're up on the stage dancing. I mean, I've seen some people really grow through Rocky Horror. It's pretty amazing to see some of these folks who, you know, came with no experience, and now they're shining stars out there. And so we're doing this at 8:30 p.m. On Saturday the 16th. That's the first night of the convention itself. By the way, there's been a little bit of confusion about the dates of the convention. I just want to clear that up. The show actually starts the morning of Saturday the 16th. On the website, it says the 15th through the 17th. That's because the 15th is vendor setup day. And also the celebrities start arriving on the 15th. And the night of the 15th, that Friday night, there will be an informal gathering in the lounge at the hotel, which is the Sheraton Hotel. You never know who you're going to run into. It's not organized. It's not formal. It's just whoever's around is going to mingle and hang out there. Sometimes you get the best interactions by jumping in one of those deals. And so that's why the dates are 15th through the 17th. But this performance is Saturday night at 8:30. Now, what do you guys do to get ready? I mean, I see you guys pumping yourselves up when it's time to perform. So what's the secret there? Oh, you know, we're a rowdy crew, so, you know, just honestly, just the buzz in the room at ScareCon, everyone's so hyped, and people are so nice there, and then we hear everyone's stories about when they first saw Rocky Horror sneaking out of the house in 1979, and by 8:30, we are so ready to go, and we usually have a pretty packed house, and it's one of our favorite shows of the year. I mean, ScareCon, it really is unlike any other convention that we've been to a lot of conventions, and it's our favorite, absolutely. Best event of the year. Well, that's really nice to hear. Now, one of the things that's pretty cool about Rocky Horror Picture Show is that when it came out, it kind of didn't do a whole lot. And then somehow it got this cult following. And then it started to be screened at midnight screenings, you know, at these theaters, these kind of underground theaters. And it just took on a life of its own. And if you haven't seen it, Meatloaf is in it. Obviously, Tim Curry plays the lead character. It's Susan Sarandon. Was that her film debut, by the way? You know, she was definitely an unknown American then. Absolutely, they grabbed her, and they grabbed ScareCon alum Barry Bostwick to kind of be the 2 Americans in the film in a cast of all you know, British folks. But it's hard to believe that film is what was it 1975? It's like 43 years old, something like that, right? Absolutely, yeah, 43 years old, yeah, and it's going stronger every year. We had 2,200 people at our last show.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
Wow. And for those of you who aren't sure how this works, if you have admission to Scaricon, whether it's a weekend pass, a day pass, VIP pass, whatever it happens to be, if you're part of the event, you can go to the shadow casting performance of Rocky Horror Picture Show Saturday night, and there's no additional charge. The only thing you might want to do is bring $4 to grab a package, a packet of the props that you'll use during the performance. You can't bring your own, right, Brett?
Absolutely, yeah. The things we have in there are very specific. We even have some props in there that some of you folks who are used to Rocky Horror haven't seen before, kind of some Kids of Albany exclusive things in the prop kit. But, yeah, $4 will cover you for everything you need to really get the full interactive experience of Rocky Horror.
So, if for a first timer, how would you recommend they come in and enjoy this? If you've never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show, never been involved in any of this, do you have any pointers or tips for them?
I think a lot of the misconceptions we get is the movie scary. It's got horror in the title. It's got bloody font. It's not scary at all. It's a lot of fun. Great music in it. It's kind of a sci-fi comedy if you really have no clue what the movie's about. You do not need to dress up. Some folks think they'll be pointed out or embarrassed if they're not dressed up in that Rocky Horror garb. Do not even worry about that. And another misconception, I guess, is people think it kind of has like a Cirque du Soleil vibe where the actors are going to be coming out and touching you and trying to do embarrassing things. And again, not going to happen. You just come and take a seat and you enjoy the show and you're going to have an absolute blast. And if it's your first show, it definitely will not be your last.
Yeah, and you said the actors come out and do embarrassing things. They probably will do some embarrassing things, but not to you. They just do it because as you said, fishnets, whatever. I mean, the costumes are pretty outrageous at times, and that's probably the most striking thing about Rocky Horror Picture Show is that element. It's certainly not scary.
Oh, absolutely. Every scene, it just keeps getting more wackier and more wackier. And, the audience just eats it up. And I feel, the energy that we get from the crowd is yelling the callback lines. They're cheering throughout the movie. It really just, we feed back and forth from each other. And the Scaricon crowd is always just amazing.
Now, you've had a chance to walk around Scaricon. Like you said, you guys all are in costume. You'll be walking around Saturday during the event. As you've walked around several Scaricons now, what strikes you as to be, the source of the energy?
That's what I was saying before, where Scaricon isn't like any other, because it's a very down to earth convention. It's a lot of the cons we go to. I feel the crowd is kind of like herded around like cattle, and everything's so rush, and get your stuff and get out of here. And at the con, I think people are just very relaxed and they're there to have a good time, and that just people are feeding off those good vibes, and especially towards the end of the night, I think people are just ready to party. Go see the band and have a good time. And so, I feel like the Rocky show is a very good precursor to the rest of the partying going on that Saturday night. But really to end the day of the convention, it's perfect. Yeah,
that's a great point, because right after the Rocky Horror Picture Show Shadowcast is when the party, the big open to everybody party kicks off. And we've got a band for that party. Their name is Flux Capacitor. They're an 80s hair band tribute. They're a lot of fun. They're a lot of great music. You can't help but have a great time with them. So you're right. This is a great way to start your Saturday evening. Once the convention floor closes, you grab something quick to eat. You jump down to I think it's the Hawthorne Room, if I remember right. It'll be labeled there, but I think it's the Hawthorne Room where we're screening this. You grab a seat. It's probably going to be standing room only at some point. You get involved in this, and it warms the night up, and then you're ready to go out and have a great time at the party.
Oh, absolutely. We can't wait. And most of the cast, we're spending the night there, so we'll be there all night just partying with everybody. We really can't wait to see all you folks.
All right. So would you do me a favor? I don't know if this is fair or not to ask of you, just because there's so many people involved, but I know that your team is a close-knit group. You've got a lot of really cool, dedicated people. You want to throw any names out?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the kid right off the bat, we got our Frankenfurter. We have Tom. We have Bill. We have Jess. We have Jen. We have our Trixie is Sarah. We have a bunch of new Transylvanians and whatnot. But we roll about 15 to 20 people deep. So we don't just think it's going to be a few actors up on stage. I mean, we really do have quite the crew we roll with. And I would say if you're going to come to the show and you're unsure, you just stay for the first 5 minutes, stay for the lip stand, and you'll probably be like, completely on board at that point.
I have no doubt. It is so much fun. It's infectious. It's so much fun. Now, as a group, do you have people continually applying? Do you accept everybody? Is there an audition process? How does that work?
It's funny how it works because the Kids of Albany have been around for 10 years coming up. Next year will be our 10-year anniversary. Please give us a like on Facebook and, check us out. We do perform all over New York. But yeah, at first it was so hard to find folks. We were scrambling. We'd hold auditions and get maybe one or two people to show up all day long. And now we absolutely have a waiting list of folks who are dying to get in. But the cast of folks we have now have been so loyal, and they just have such a blast doing the show. Definitely a family, and so no one's leaving at this point, so we're not circulating out folks as we used to back in the day.
Right. All right. Well, Brett, we're out of time, but I want to thank you so much again for being here tonight and talking about this, but even more importantly, for agreeing to do another Scaricon. This is what, your third, fourth? How many have you done with us?
Honestly, I think we're on our fourth now, but it's one of our favorite things of the year, so they have no end in sight for us. Yeah,
and a couple of them we were fortunate enough to have Barry Bostwick himself with us, which was a lot of fun.
Oh, he's the best. He's such a sweetheart.
Yeah, and we're still working on getting some of the other cast members, too. We've been really close many times, and we'll make it happen. Hopefully we can make it happen for this fall, and we'll have you back at our Turning Stone event.
I'll make it into a big Rocky extravaganza.
All right, Brett Glacier. Everybody, make sure you join us. Brett, thanks again, and I will see you in just a few short days.
Awesome. Can't wait.
Okay, so this is the deal, folks. The Shadowcast is Saturday night at 8:30. And it's I'm trying to think. It's part of your Scaricon admission. I just want to make sure we get all the details. It's not a separate ticket. You just come. You just participate. Brett Glasser and his team will be there. They're called the Kids of Albany. They will be performing in the Shadowcast. And if you haven't seen the movie, or you have seen the movie, but you haven't seen a Shadowcast, or you've done it all before, you still will have a fantastic time. It's one of the highlights of the Scaricon event this time around. So make sure you go to the website at scaricon.com and check out all the things that will be going on. There have been some changes. There's actually going to be, if you're a ticket holder right now, there's going to be an email going out that has some schedule changes listed in it. One of those things is Cassandra Peterson's photo op has been changed from Sunday to Saturday. If somebody can't make it on Sunday and they bought a photo op with Cassandra Peterson, also known as Elvira, we will try to squeeze it in on Sunday for you. But we'll have to work that out at the event. Anyway, so check out the website, scaricon.com. We can't wait to see everybody. If you haven't gotten your admission yet, do it now. You can do it right from the website, scaricon.com, because the discounts for online purchase are about to end. They are about to be over. And you can still get tickets at the door. That's not a problem. They'll just be a little more expensive. Still worth it, though. And if you're tuned into the YouTube channel, I just want to let you know, of course, tonight is a best of program for Beyond Reality Radio. As you can hear, my voice is completely gone. Completely gone. 2 gigs on Saturday, and I can't talk. But I'm going to try to jump into chat a little bit later and start the YouTube channel so people can chat there for Beyond Reality Radio at midnight. Hopefully we'll be able to make that happen if I can keep my eyes open. It's been a long few days. But thank you all for joining us here on the Facebook broadcast of Scaricon TV. As I said, we get through this Scaricon this weekend. We're going to start doing this on a weekly basis, or at least bi-weekly, every other week. Maybe we can get it done. And we'll feature great guests all the time, have great discussions, and we'll take your phone calls. We'll be able to do that. Yeah, it'd be good stuff. Thanks so much, guys. If you haven't gotten your Scaricon tickets, do it now. Go to scaricon.com. We want to see you at this event. It's going to be fantastic. The place is going to be mobbed. It's going to be amazing. Cannot wait. Take care, everybody. Great to see y'all.